How y'all doing, man? We back with another episode of the TaeVi podcast. Today we got a very special guest, funny guest. I had the pleasure of watching him perform. When was it? Last Friday at Troy Comedy Special.
Oh yeah.
We have comedian Sleepy in the building, man. And before we even get started, that was my first time seeing you perform. Great performance.
Appreciate that, brother.
One of my favorite jokes. I don't want to tell a joke, but when you the gay joke.
Yeah.
When it started from right there, it's the audacity for me.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite jokes from you. But if y'all tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, y'all rate us a 5-star. Y'all keep us going for that algorithm for people can see the podcast and come to YouTube and see us in video form. So before we get started, man, how you doing today?
I can't complain, bro. I'm blessed.
For sure.
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Special coming up.
Yes, sir.
What's the name of the special?
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. So where did that come from? What's the name coming from?
So I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to incorporate into my stand-up was authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like no matter what you're doing, you should be whatever your 100% true self is. So a lot of the shit you hear me talk about on stage, it all comes back to being comfortable with yourself and living in your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically all it means. It's just being authentic, being yourself, because that's something that's important to me. Like, I'm, you know, people like Kevin Hart, for example.
Okay.
A lot of his jokes is him joking on himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's embracing the fact that he's short. He's joking about not really being a fighter. He's talked about his father not being in his life. I think that's with any material, no matter whether it's rap, comedy, it's kind of similar. You got to have your own style. You can't go up there trying to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
I feel like that's a kind of like a defense mechanism as well, because like if you talk about yourself, who could talk about you?
Right.
It's like when Eminem did on 8 Mile when he was like, I'm trash, I'm that. Papa Doc couldn't say nothing because he already said everything about it. What do you feel is your type of style of comedy? Are there different types of comedy?
There are definitely different styles. Like I'll say, for example, D.L. Hughley, a lot of his material is crowd work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He'll be on stage 10, 15 minutes just ribbing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just joking bad. But then you had somebody like Eddie Murphy, his style is a little bit more methodic. It's planned out. Like every bit of his set, if you really pay attention, it's all connected. Like how I'm saying, like my theme for my set is stay in your lane. So that's why I went with the name. It's like very planned out. So I would think I was a little bit influenced by him in that way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he's more like almost like script writing, the way he structures
strategic
it.
with it.
You know what I'm saying? Then you might have somebody that's just very energetic. So, you know, it's different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like I personally think I'm like a mix of authenticity, like so a little bit of Eddie Murphy. I watched a lot of Chris Rock, and he incorporates like a lot of real life things into his set. So it's like, yeah, you getting jokes, but I'm also educating you at the same time. So I try to throw a little bit of that in there.
Right. That was kind of like his theme for Everybody Hates Chris with his narrating. It was jokes in there, but it always was kind of like a lesson in each episode.
Facts.
Even though it was funny. Now, I want to talk about the mixture of people. Who are some comedians who influence you?
Definitely Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Jamie Foxx. I feel like Jamie Foxx is a very underrated stand-up comedian. He's so talented and he good at so much shit.
Everything. Like,
he's good at everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you ever actually like sat down and watched his stand-up, like any of his comedy specials, but the bitches is good. You know what I'm saying? The nigga cold.
I would say that's not hard to believe, man. Anything Jamie Foxx, I just watched his new movie he had on Netflix, Day Shift. Kind of different with vampires. Never seen him in that like type of role, but he killed it. But Jamie Foxx, man, he talented, bro. Musically, acting, comedy. I don't know. He get overlooked a lot though. Like, I agree with that.
I feel like he might be the most talented man on the planet. Like, how you that good at all this shit? You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the movie, but I'm sure it's fire. Like,
it's fire.
His name not really too much negative type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I want to take it to the beginning of, because we talking about it a little bit down the line, but let's talk about how you started. I guess, how did the comedy roots grow in you? Was it from childhood, middle school, high school?
So it was like one of them things where I wasn't going around trying to be funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can make people laugh. It was nothing like that. When you grow up in New Orleans, you kind of got to learn how to be funny because everybody is funny. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about, oh, I'm going to be a comedian. I'm just trying to survive.
Right.
It's high school. You know what I'm saying? Because what high school you went to, bro?
Easton.
I went to 3-5. I'm sure they're not that different. If you in that bitch quiet, chilling, staying to yourself, and niggas start ripping and you not saying nothing, they gonna look at you like you a victim.
They
you know
hit
what I'm
you
saying?
every day with it if you don't say that.
So it's like, fuck, you just got to learn how to be funny just to live day to day at an Orleans Parish High School. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all it was about. It was
it's necessary.
Facts. So fuck, after a while, I went from like, you know, because niggas used to get me, you know what I'm saying? And it went from that to fuck, now I got something to say back. And I graduated from that to nigga, I really rip the fuck out you, like right now, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So once I got to that point and I realized, all right, it's coming easy to me. You know what I'm saying? This is probably something that I would want to do, but it wasn't always comedy for me. Right. My thing was I want to get paid for being myself. Okay. I want to be able to use my personality as my platform. You know what I'm saying? My way to make money. So I always known somehow, some way I was going to be using my personality. I was a mass comm major in college, and I had, you know what I'm saying? I had a concentration in broadcast, and my thing was radio. I wanted to do, I'm into the podcast thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I thought my life was headed. With comedy, it was like so many people started saying, Sleepy, bro, you funny. Like, you should try to do comedy. I'm like, man, no, man. Like, at that point, it's not even tangible for me. What
age was this?
Shit, this started when I was like 21, 22. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. But, you know, you say when you really don't want to do something, but you probably should, you say it out loud, but you procrastinate for a little while. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to go perform. I'm going to try. I didn't really write any material. And one day, I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to just do it. So it was a show in Covington. Okay. So I don't know if you ever been to Covington. Yeah. Not very many black people. You know what I'm saying? So it was about 5 to 7 cowboys in this motherfucker, like all hell
with the hats and everything.
Yeah, like dead ass. So I'm like, damn. So off the gate, I'm nervous because how the fuck?
It's not your crowd that you expect.
But I'm gonna tell you the plus side to it that I didn't factor in. Like now that I'm a little bit more experienced, you get a crowd like that, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't know these people. Right. Whatever happens after I leave this room, this shit not never gonna get back to me. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know you. You don't know them.
Facts. So I did the show. I bombed. Like I bombed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Was it booze?
Nah, it wasn't booze. Okay. They was actually very polite. So they the type of people, even if you not funny, they still gonna clap, give you a little fake laugh. Keep going. Yeah, you know. Okay. So that's all that was the first night. But normally, you know where people fuck up at? I think because there are a lot of people who are naturally funny that are afraid to do comedy, and it's just because they're afraid to get booed. Not booed so much because I've only seen like 1 or 2 people in comedy get booed. Most people are just fucking start talking while you performing and stop paying attention before they boo you. You know what I'm saying? So all it's like.
So sorry about cutting you off, but your first show in Covington, you say you bound. What does that like consist of? Because it's different type of bounds, like you said. People can be talking, people just be silent and looking at you. People can throw shit at you. Is that real?
Nah, ain't nobody gonna throw shit at you. I've never seen nothing thrown. I mean, it's getting wild out here with this comedy shit right now, but I have yet to see that happen. You know what I'm saying?
How many times have you bombed so far?
Shit, I don't know. I don't have a count. I'm gonna tell you, I smashed that bitch way more than I bombed.
All right, that's a good ratio then.
You know what I'm saying? But fuck, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Comedians bomb, like, right? And that's what people. If you want to fuck with it, that's what people got to learn. You gon' bomb.
Let's just say entertainers, because everybody bombs. Rappers, they have people rapping a song, you just stand up like that. Who the fuck is this? I'm waiting on a big ass. Right. That's how it is sometimes when you're an entertainer. You gotta pay your dues, I guess.
Facts.
Do you remember the first joke you wrote?
Yeah, I do.
What was it?
So you talking about like the first good joke or like the first joke?
Just the first one that you ever used.
So I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't remember nothing from that Covington show because I don't use none of that shit.
Okay,
like I don't remember
what
I said. But I had a joke and like 5-6 years later, this joke wasn't good. But it was good enough to get laughs. You know what I'm saying? But it was about church. So the premise of the joke was I used to go to this church, right? And you know, in the black culture, church is a big deal. Right. Like black people like to catch the Holy Ghost.
Yep, so Sunday to den.
Facts. So you know, the biggest part of that outside of the pastor is the choir. All right. So my joke was about how my choir can't sing. Like that was the joke. I don't remember the exact punchline, but that was the premise of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody and I had people coming up to me like, that's a good joke, but you sure you won't joke about church? Yeah.
I'm glad you got to that, because the sensitivity of comedy has gotten really sensitive. Yeah. The sensitivity has gotten really sensitive, more and more sensitive over the years with the Dave Chappelle situation with Netflix employees, with him joking about the LGBT. And they saying they gonna walk out and stuff like that, and just other comedians scared to I guess be really raw how it used to be.
Right.
The climate has changed in today's with a lot of things different. But how do you feel about the subject and sensitivity of comedy today?
I mean, for me personally, it doesn't really affect me because I know how to say shit or not say shit. You know what I'm saying? I think the best thing about comedy, though, is supposed to be raw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be raw. It's supposed to be unfiltered. So you're going to always have an element of that in comedy. You could try to cancel people all you want, but comedians are going to take risks with their jokes. Okay. Like most comedians. Like even Bill Cosby was the most, typical black dad, family man person in the world. People don't know he literally has jokes about putting pills in drinks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a joke. Some shit called Spanish Fly. This some shit he said on stage. That's the family. This the family man. Right. Now, he probably didn't think that this shit was going to blow up in his face fucking
40 years, 50 years later.
But it's definitely something he said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to gamble with jokes. Now, we have to be proactive at the same time. Shit that was funny 40 years ago is not going to be funny today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's some shit you can't say. But at the end of the day, you should have the freedom to say, because at the end of the day, dog, if I say some shit, if you say something and the entire crowd gets uncomfortable and you don't get not one laugh, you're going to take the joke out anyway, because at that point, it's not comedy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have no choice but to take your shit out. At the end of the day, I just feel like if it's funny, say that shit.
Okay. Have you seen the sensitivity affect other comedians who are, like you said, we talked about different styles, who are more raw. That ain't even a word, raw. Who are more raw than other comedians. Like, they can't, like, you go on stage trying not to offend anyone, right, and it affects your comedy because you so busy trying not to be canceled.
Right.
You don't get your, I guess, work off easily as you used to.
Yeah, man, I think not so much people I work with, but as far as, like, mainstream comedians, I think the sensitivity of the world right now is why Eddie Murphy isn't doing comedy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the most unfiltered person on the planet. It's like people want him to do comedy, but it's like, do you really want him to do comedy?
Right.
Because do you know the type of shit he was talking about? It was the 80s, you know what I'm saying? But he was talking about some wild shit. Right. I personally feel like that's the reason why he hasn't come back. Kevin Hart, I think that shit affected Kevin Hart a little bit because, like, first of all, comedy is subjective. So what's funny to me may not be funny to you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna always be a thing. But a lot of people that fuck with Kevin Hart, they fuck with him for the earlier comedy specials, right?
Yep.
And the more recent ones,
more friendly, family.
Yeah.
Friendly, not too much raw jokes. But a lot of people, I guess that's like common in like entertaining. Like, I don't know why I keep going like the music and stuff, but like a lot of fans and supporters support their like favorite artists. Like when they coming up more, they like the first album, the second album. But when they reach a certain status, like Kevin Hart, he's big. He got his own film production company. Right. He doesn't have to do stand up anymore. Facts. He has his Laugh Out Loud network. They when he does something, you be like, what Kevin Hart at? Then he does a comedy special. You be like, man, they ain't like Laugh at My Pain, man. They ain't like the other ones. I forgot what they was called, but the ones when he was coming up. Why you think it's like that? Yeah.
I think it's because this brand that Kevin Hart created is like, you kind of gotta maintain it. You know what I'm saying? He gotta keep up that image.
Right.
Kevin Hart is still that same comedian. When you work like him and when you become that great, you don't just lose it. You know what I'm saying? Like in that world, I've had people tell me, bro, I've heard Kevin Hart at open mics with no cameras, nobody really around, do shit and destroy that bitch because he could say whatever the fuck he want to say.
Right.
And then he'll come do a comedy special and it's like completely different. It's not that he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep up that image once you build it. Me personally, I rather, like, don't get me wrong, I won't be a big deal in this comedy shit, but I also want to be able to be my real self all the time. Like, the same shit that made me funny going to keep me funny, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's my belief on it, but,
Now, they have, I want to talk about they have the big deals like Kevin Hart's, the Dave Chappelle's who does the Netflix special. They have other people who does it as well. But I see a lot of comics talk about like the underground scene of comics, sort of like music as well. They have the big artists, and they have the artists underground who be killing the clubs every night, who don't get like the fame and stuff.
Right.
I see a lot of people give love to underground comics. Like I would say, I ain't saying Mike Epps an underground comic because he definitely not. But I saw him in an interview talk about like hitting the clubs and stuff like that, not being on that main stage all the time because he could be more raw. Which one is more appealing to you, looking at it from the outside?
What as opposed to what, like underground comedy and mainstream? I mean, for me personally, at this point in my career, I like to get some big shit. You know what I'm saying? Like get those types of rooms because I don't have no problem with filtering my shit. Like I'm good. I've done stand up in church.
Okay.
Which was a little awkward, but I did it. You know what I'm saying?
The church joke there?
I used the church joke. I just took the cursing out.
Right. Okay. Now, being a comedian, do you have a manager or something like that?
I handle all that. You know what I'm saying? For booking and shit, contact me directly. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it going. But I'm probably gonna get a manager in the future. But just right now, I'm just handling my own shit. When the shit starts to become a really, really big deal, then it's gonna be definitely time to get a manager.
Okay. What do you see the benefits of having like a manager or something like that?
To be able to have that voice in the room that has those relationships that you don't. Because at the end of the day, a lot of this comedy shit, and not just comedy, just any type of artistry is friendly bobbing. People want you to friendly bob with them. That's why I always tell people, people got to get out of this mindset of, I'm not friendly, I'm not about to dick ride, I'm not about to do that. Nigga, that's networking. You network with people. You go out, you shake hands, you make conversation, you build good relationships with people.
Changing for all that.
And I'm not saying that you use people for what they have, but what I'm saying is treat people right. Always stay square with people because you never know who these people are.
Right.
And somebody can have an opportunity for you, but because you gave them a bad experience of who you are as a person, they not fucking with you like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a lot. That's what a lot of it is. You got to be able to like build relationships and get that love in the comedy world to really pop off most of the time. Because in the city, like if people don't really fuck with you, it's gonna be hard to get booked and shit.
Okay. New Orleans comedy scene has been rising. I would say I didn't know too much about the New Orleans comedy scene. I would say a few years back, but over the years I've seen they had Comedy House Nona. They have other places that bars and stuff like that. Cafe Instable. We just went there.
Right.
How do you view the New Orleans comedy scene?
I think it's growing. I think it's growing. I think New Orleans has a lot of talented comedians. Like my dog, shout out my dog Mark Caesar, shout out Troy Duchesne, shout out my dog Mario, like Rob Kazi. I feel like Rob Kazi is one of the most talented people in the world too.
Yes.
And people starting to see, you know what I'm saying? People starting to see. And I think he gonna be the first, my projection is he gonna be the first New Orleans like stand up to become like a huge deal out the city. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like it's gonna grow from there because all it takes. Very. And I personally feel like all it takes is one. Like, if you notice, like, every city, when it comes to rap, it's funny, like, comedy and rap, it really go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's why I can't keep talking about music with it.
Facts. But, like, they might have one rapper from a city. Like, a rapper from Mississippi might blow up today, right, and become one of the biggest stars on the planet.
He follows the other people.
And next thing you know, you just got a chain of rappers from Mississippi just getting it popping. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to crack that window. It's like, right now, you got ESTG, Jack Harlow, and Bryson Tiller, all from Kentucky.
Damn.
That's 3 big stars right now. Who the fuck was checking for Kentucky, let's say 15 years, 20 years ago?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes that person to kick the door down. But I think New Orleans definitely has the talent. I think New Orleans comedy scene is one of the most relevant things in New Orleans right now, personally. Yeah. I think they have a lot of legit star comedians in New Orleans right now.
Okay. How do you feel New Orleans take the next step to getting to that one breaking through the door like you project Rob will be?
Supporting each other. Supporting each other. I ain't gonna lie, I lost my train of thought a second ago when we was talking about this. But like I said, it's about building relationships with people and supporting each other. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna let you know real facts about the way this comedy shit work, bro. Most of the time, these big rooms, like say Kevin Hart or somebody has a fucking comedy fest in New Orleans today at the Smoothie King Center, and they trying to find local acts who they might let open up or some shit. They not going for the person who's necessarily the funniest. They not going through people's social media looking at the funny shit they see. nigga, how many tickets can you sell?
Right.
If you could sell tickets, you got to be good, basically, type shit. They care about numbers. So if you want to be able to get opportunities in these places, you got to have numbers. You got to be able to say, if I do a show, I can sell this many tickets. When I drop my comedy special, it got this many downloads. And when you showing them numbers, they're like, you know what? Cool.
Leverage.
Let's invest in him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So the only way we're going to be able to build them numbers is by supporting each other. We got to start packing these rooms out, supporting these comedians and these rappers too, because it's the same in rap. Numbers don't lie. And I think that's the main thing. We just got to support each other and start packing out these rooms because everybody in Atlanta support each other.
Okay. I want to talk more about your special coming up. What's the date on it?
I'm recording it September 10th. I haven't exactly made up my mind on a release date just yet, but it's been recorded September 10th. I got 2 shows, one for 7 and one for 9.
Okay. Where's the show at?
It's at Comedy House Note.
All right. That's by the bowling alley, right?
Right down the board. It's on Fulton Street, so right across King Missing.
Okay. Now, with this your first special, right?
Yes.
What can we expect without giving any spoilers or anything?
I think you can expect a good performance. You know what I'm saying? It took me a lot of time to get to a point where I felt like I was ready to do a comedy special. I've known I had because, a comedy special is roughly 45 minutes to an hour. Most of the time, you got people that have me do more. You might have somebody that might just do a half hour. But it doesn't matter who it is. No comedian just wakes up one day and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to just do this bitch today. You know what I'm saying? It takes preparation.
All right.
I've been doing comedy 6 years. I'm just getting to a point where I feel like I should be able to drop this bitch and be comfortable with what it's doing. So it's a lot of hard work put into it. It's very relatable. It's funny. Okay. Obviously. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's relatable. And yeah. So I think it's going to be a good look for myself. I think it's going to be a good look for the city.
Okay. What experience are you going through putting together this special that you didn't, I guess, anticipate?
Honestly, I think it's like you really forget how much you got to put into this shit as far as like got to have a fucking album cover. You got to be able to organize the event. You got to be able to push out these tickets. Got to do your promo, which just promo alone, if I'm being real, it's not really my strong suit. Like I just be so into the art of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just be wanting to go up there and be funny, but it's like at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a numbers game. So the main thing has just been trying to find different ways to be effective in spreading the word. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. And just preparing, like really preparing, going over jokes. Like even if I'm at work, just looking like I'm fucking crazy and that bitch whispering to myself, saying shit, trying to remember jokes and shit. So it's like it's a strenuous process, but it's cool.
Okay. Speaking of material, how do you write in your notes?
Most of the time it's mental. Okay. Like I find that when I try to write shit down, like physically, I have a problem trying to remember exactly what it is that I wrote, and I fuck the joke up. It don't really feel organic anymore because I'm trying to remember. So the only thing I really do is I memorize the topic. Okay. And I just remember the topic. And as long as I remember the topic, I pretty much remember what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so let's say, for example, I tweet some shit. Like just some random funny shit. Okay. And if let's say 10, 20 people laugh at it, I'd be like, I'm keeping that. I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying? Right.
You tweet a lot of funny shit, by the way.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and most of the time though, I be testing shit out. I be like, let me just see if they bite and see if I can make this into a joke. Because it's like a lot of my shit be like that, dog.
All right. I want to speak on how do you come up with your material? Some people it's a mixture of real life situations. Or just a joke you found funny or something like that. How do you come up with yours?
Majority of my shit is real life. It's like my actual experiences. Like I got jokes about being a mailman. I got jokes about my relationships. I got jokes about different things like that. But then also I have jokes where it's just some shit. I might have got some shit from social media, like something that was just trending. Like, you know what I'm saying? At that time, current events, I guess. Like, you know how if somebody hosts the BET Awards, they just go up there and they just talk about different celebrities and shit. Yep. So like I have shit that I just pick up just being out. Anything that I feel like will connect with the audience is what I see. Okay. But at the same time, I try to make my shit in a way. I don't want my comedy to be too New Orleans, even though I am New Orleans. Like I love New Orleans, but it's just like I want to appeal to the world.
You want other people to understand your comedy as well. Like you said, with the material, how long you say you've been doing comedy for 6 years. When does some material drop out of your acts? Like, do you still use material from the first year, the second year, stuff like that?
It all depends. I'm very, very, very. I think about my material all of the time, so I'm always throwing some shit out if I feel like it don't fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have jokes that I've been doing damn near the whole 6 years, and I got shit I'm sharing. I say it on stage at the last show that I just wrote on the way there. Like, it just depends on how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I like, one thing I like about where I'm at now is I'm not really second guessing my writing skills no more. Because there was a time when I would write jokes and I would be like, I was very comfortable in doing my set because I know it get laughs. And so I would just keep saying it. I'd be afraid to try new shit because I'd be afraid of saying it and nobody don't laugh, which in reality, that's the beauty of it. If I tell a joke, and that's why I say you can't be afraid to bomb. If I tell a joke and this joke doesn't hit here, right, nobody laugh. I could go tell that same joke the next day at a new spot and they be dying at the shit.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, this bitch is funny. I got to figure out a way to make it funny for everybody.
Okay.
You know,
and how do you do that?
it's tough to say. I just go up. Basically, that's what open mics is for. You hit open mics and you just say shit. You try shit. So I just experiment with different things, and whatever gets the best reaction, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll probably keep that.
Okay. Is there any nerves when going on stage?
Definitely. You always a little bit nervous when you right before you perform, but I'd like to believe I'm way more comfortable on stage now than I was, say, 3-4 years ago.
Okay. And what's the when you on stage adjusting, how do you adjust to a crowd? How do you know if a crowd is a little tight? Like the show that we just went through, they would like when you came on, you was like, I know y'all ready to get to the. There was a little the 9 o'clock crowd. Dry. Yeah, they wasn't like the 7 o'clock crowd.
Yeah, them motherfuckers was acting like
it was a little dry, but you loosened them up as you got through your set. Yeah. So how do you know when to adjust to a crowd?
So with that, most of the time I'm peeping that out before I even get on stage. Like I sat here and watched y'all how y'all treated the other comedians before I got on stage. Right. Y'all wasn't really laughing or whatever for whatever reason. So I already knew when I got on stage I was gonna have to break the cell early. Like I was just gonna have to say some shit early just to establish my presence. So I'm like, once I can make y'all get that first laugh, I'm good. They laughed, so I'm like, all right, cool.
Icebreaker.
Right. At that point, it was just easy, dog. You just kind of, and that's not just for a crowd being tense. You could kind of tell what type of crowd it is, what type of jokes you should tell based off the crowd. So I'm going to watch some shows, I got to be a little more New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm performing at a show on Crowder, I have to be New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? I got to go up there and jokes. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear detailed jokes. Then I might have a white show, like realistically, like, you know, and I might be like, all right, well, I might need to make my shit a little cornier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Make it a little bit more mainstream. Okay. So it's like, it's always a thing of just, that's some shit you got to read the room before you even get on stage. Which can be hard to do if you open it up, though. Because when you open it up, you pretty much just rolling with the punches. You don't know what kind of crowd it is. But I think if you're not opening up, especially, you have an advantage because you're able to sit there and watch the other comedians perform and the host do his shit, and you can see how the crowd is acting. So I'm always prepared just based off that.
That's interesting. When you up on stage and you know you killing it,
okay,
how do you know when to like cut it off or just stop? Because you do your jokes like, right. Damn, I'm killing this shit.
See, I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I don't. Like, I be having a problem with that. Like, once I get rolling, I be like, bitch. That's why I feel like I'm ready for the comedy show. I mean, the special, because I can like really go up there and do my shit. Because this is about me, so I can say what I won't say. You know what I'm saying? But I think with comedy, you just gotta keep that clock in your head. You know what I'm saying? We work on these jokes all day, so we know how long the jokes are. So you know where you at. So when you killing, like, yeah, you it is a little hard to get off stage, but at the same time, you won't get off on a high note. Like, I think the best feeling is when you get off stage at the right time after you kill that bitch, and they mad that you getting off stage. Because if you stay up there too long, you could fucking tear your drawers with them. You know what I'm saying? So you want to, like, when you have a host, if the host is a comedian, they're gonna tell a joke, and if the crowd laugh real hard, they hurry up and introduce the comedian because you're bringing them out on a high note.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Now, 7 and 9 o'clock. I wanted to ask this. Why do you guys do 2 shows and not just one?
That's more of a comedy house thing.
Okay.
As far as that's what they do. I think Troy just grew up, not grew up like he was a kid, but he been in that atmosphere that with that structure, with the way that they do shit for so long, he felt like it was a good idea for his as well. I guess because, you know, this person might get off of work at 6.
Right.
So I can make the 7 o'clock show. But this other person will be like, well, I don't get off until 7. So I guess it's just like giving people options as far as like what they want to do. I personally would prefer the 1, but I'm cool with the 2.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good idea. I understand the logic behind it.
Okay. Now, if for your special, say you say you it's hard doing the promoting. How many people do you expect to come out?
I don't have a set number in my head. As long as I have a good, energetic crowd, because I'd rather have fucking 30 energetic, lively people that want to have a good time to have 500 people in the room and all of them in their phones, not paying attention, not really trying to enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all I care about. I just want good energy.
Okay.
I just want good energy. The rest gonna work itself out, bro.
Okay. I want to talk about Instagram comedy. Do you participate in Instagram comedy?
Occasionally. It's not really my cup of tea, but occasionally. I've had a couple of videos on Instagram and shit.
What do you think about the landscape of the Instagram skits, comedy, thing like that?
I mean, hey, if you could do it, do your thing. I'm not gonna knock it. That is clearly a successful lane. You know what I'm saying? People are getting on a lot faster by having the Instagram content. I would just say if your end goal in this is to be a comedian, like an actual comedian, don't get so caught up in the Instagram videos that you're not actually working on your material. Because you don't want to fuck around and build this big ass following. You got 10 million followers on Instagram, and then you get these people to come to a venue to watch you do comedy, and they get up there and you suck because you don't work on your material, which does happen.
And they expecting the Instagram skits.
Facts, which is cool. If you there's nothing wrong. Some people that I know that do comedy now that came from Instagram, they might have took some of these skits and turned it into a joke on stage. Which, if you know how to structure the joke, it can work. But you don't want to get caught up in that shit. Because it's completely different. You can't go up there exactly how you do on Instagram. Because on Instagram, if I record some shit and this shit not funny, nigga, I can stop recording, delete it, and try this shit again until I get it right. But nigga, once you on stage, you out here. It ain't no stop button.
Ain't no rewind.
Yeah, you gotta.
Say, hold up, I fucked up. Hold up, y'all, I fucked up. All right. I want to ask you, if you may, we could break down the top 5 comedians that you have for your list.
All time? Like Mount Rushmore type shit? Are we talking about like New Orleans? We just talking about
I want to do them separate. I want to do New Orleans, and I want to do let's do all time. Even though that's going a long way back. We do all time.
All right, so let me think off the top of my head. What's my 5? Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor,
okay,
Bernie Mac.
Rest in peace.
Oh shit. This one gonna be difficult. The last how many I get? 3?
2 more. You said Bernie, Eddie, and Richard.
Shit.
They got
so many comedians, bro.
Dave, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence.
Dave.
Okay, 1 more.
Dave.
Mike Epps, D-Ray Davis, Eric Spears,
and that
D.L. Hughley.
This gonna be unpopular. I'm gonna say Steve Harvey.
Okay, Steve Harvey. Elaborate on that one, because since that's an unpopular one. Yeah, the Steve Harvey show, funny as hell.
Steve Harvey. All right, so Steve Harvey a different type of nigga than me, bro. Like he's where you want to be at as a comedian.
He grandpa funny too now.
They got this nigga hosting the ESPYs.
Crazy.
Let me break that down for you why that's a big deal. You know how hard it is? It's one thing to do a comedy show and people are there for comedy. Nigga, it's hard to do a local concert and you a comedian. Like, you know how some people want you to host like concerts and shit.
Right.
And you could tell some jokes. These people don't want to hear no fucking jokes. They hear their partner perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to go perform in front of a room that's not there for comedy. They're not there for you.
Yep.
So you gotta win their attention fast or you're gonna lose them.
That opening monologue gotta be pressure.
And that's just at a concert. You know how hard it is to perform at the ESPYs in a room full of millionaires and billionaires. Yeah. It's millions and millions of people watching you. You're the only person lightly on stage. They don't trust anybody with that shit.
Right.
And he kill it.
Exactly. He do the The ball drop every year.
He do the ball drop. He got Family Feud.
He just had something else I forgot. But yeah, Steve Harvey, he a jack of all, man. He do it all.
Facts.
Now I want to get to the New Orleans top 5. Let it go. You can include yourself as well.
Me.
First,
definitely include myself.
Straight up.
Not to toot my own horn. You
Yeah,
know
a lot
of
people don't include this out, man. But
Yeah,
you gotta toot your horn sometimes.
And this list is no particular order, by the way. Me, I'm gonna say Mark Caesar. Shout out my brother Mark.
Shout out Mark Caesar.
I'm gonna go Shotty Feel Good.
Okay.
Shotty
Feel Good.
Rob Kazi.
Rob Kazi fool. And the last one is?
I said me already, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
You want to put yourself twice?
Fuck. Number 5.
Let's see.
I'm gonna go with my dog Mario, man.
Okay, Mario the comic. Now, I'm not gonna recap that list one more time so I can get it stuck in my head. So I can put it out here.
Me, Rob Kazi,
Mario,
Mark Caesar, Mario, Shotty Feel Good.
All right, Shotty Feel Good. All right, now when you're watching, do you watch comedy?
Definitely.
All right, a lot of people have this thing. I don't watch too much comedy because when I watch too much of something, I might grab something from them.
it.
Yeah, a lot of people. I saw TK Kirkland say this on Vlad TV. He don't watch too because he might say something from the special. Do you ever get caught up in that?
I definitely did that before. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, and I was just telling somebody this story. So I used to have this joke that I did, or a joke that I thought I was doing. And the joke was like, I don't even remember the exact joke, but it was something about, it was a Deion Cole joke though. Mm-hmm. And it was whatever the joke was, it was like, so where the ladies at? Something how the DJ be in the club, where the ladies at, whatever. I don't remember. I don't even remember the fucking joke. Mm-hmm. But I was saying it on stage. People was laughing. I was like, damn, this one good. I'm cold for thinking of this. Mm-hmm. So I go watch this nigga perform. He does the exact joke, and I'm like,
did he steal that from me? I stole it from him.
I definitely stole it from him. You know what I'm saying? But not even purposely. Like I watched it.
Just subconsciously.
I didn't even remember watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it happens. It definitely I still watch a lot of like I feel like I got to the point now. I don't really got to worry about. I don't make that mistake no more. Okay. Because most of my jokes just come to me naturally anyway. So it's like I have no reason to like. At the end of the day, a lot of comedians, if you notice, we do the same topics. Not all the same topics, but a lot of comedians talk about the same shit. Like I'll go do a show,
right?
And
family.
A comedian will say some shit that sounds a lot like mine from the structural standpoint. Like our actual punchlines might be different, but the setup is like kind of similar. And I'm like, this nigga ain't never seen me perform, so I know he ain't steal this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people go through like the same like life experiences and family experience. Like a lot of black people, black parents parent the same. Like, like a lot of people do like the same stuff in their house. Like shit. Like I forget. What's some things that black parents do?
Black
the same
people
or some
do.
Shit?
Fucking black people use fucking grocery bags as trash.
Oh yeah,
cans.
yeah. We got buku of them in the pantry. Shit.
Buku fucking. Every time we go eat, still buku napkins like just regular black people.
Right,
shit.
Just regular shit. I wanna finish this interview off of course we talked about the special.
Right.
I want to talk about a little bit more of what you expect from New Orleans supporters when they get to your, I guess your special, your Stay in Your Lane, it's your first one. All the preparation you putting behind it, what you expect from the people to come out for you. Damn.
This nigga about to hurt himself. You said, what do I expect from them?
Yeah.
Just good energy, man. Like, just come to have a good time. Don't be, like I said, don't be a dead crowd. At the end of the day, this shit being recorded. So we going to have a good time.
Don't make me look bad, motherfuckers.
Right. Nah, but at the end of the day, that's on me. I gotta hold to my end of the bargain. So I can promise it's going to be a good show. It's not, and at the end of the day, it's really not even just about me. I got my dog Troy Duchesne on that bitch. Shout out Troy. My partner J Can, the real J Can.
Oh yeah, I saw his special too. Tell me what you want.
That nigga J Can cool.
Yeah, he funny.
And I got my dog Taj Washington too. I feel like I wanted to put Taj Washington in my top 5 New Orleans comedians, but I had to make sure I respected the OGs in the game that kind of showed me how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But Taj is a dog. I feel like Taj is very quickly becoming one of the big New Orleans comedian stars. He doesn't have that. He's more like me in the sense where, like I said, I have some skits, but I'm not really a skit person. I'm more so the stage. And I felt like he's more so the stage. So because he don't have that 50,000 follower internet following, he don't get the appreciation he deserved just yet. But if you see this man, he cold, I promise. So I'm excited about that too.
When performing, you say you have Troy, Taj, J Can. Is that for the both shows or
both shows, 7 and the 9?
How do you connect with other comedians and have that relationship with them?
Just treat people right, man. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I just love good work. I like good comedy. So if we perform together and we both kill that bitch together, we should have a good experience from that. You know what I'm saying? At that point, just start a conversation with people, get to know people, see what they all about. Like the people I got on these shows, these are real friends. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's a business, so these are business relationships too. But these are people that I talk to on an everyday basis, just outside of this comedy shit. So I know I could call them if I need somebody to kill this shit. But I always try to just maintain good relationships with people, man. Like do right by people. If I'm doing the show, make sure I keep my promises. Whatever I told that person I was going to do to get them to perform, I'm standing on that word. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the main thing, just being a real person. As long as you stay genuine and move real out here, it's not hard to maintain relationships with people. You know what I'm saying?
Golden rule. Do you share your sets with others, like practicing? Do you say it to some other people? And who are those people if you do?
Other comedians.
Okay.
For the most part, other comedians write, and that's very rare. Like for the most part, I write to myself now, but I'm not against going like me, Mark, Smiley, shout out Smiley, Troy, Kevin Little, all us. We have like writing sessions from time to time where we all link up and just run jokes by each other. But most of the time, no dog, that's what the open mic is for. So you don't really have to. I mean, you can run it by somebody, but if you go to an open mic, just say the shit, and it's gonna tell you exactly what you need to do with that joke.
Okay.
Like if you need to add something to it, if you need to keep that bitch how it is, you need to throw that bitch out and go to an open mic. That's like the best way.
You ever told your friends their jokes were shitty? Or you say it in a more political way?
I say it in a more polite way. I don't never be like, yeah, send that bitch garbage. Take that bitch out. Like, I just be like, look, bro, I see what you're doing, but instead of saying this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, help them. Now, if that bitch ain't got no habit, no hope, I'm going to be like, I don't know, bro.
Nah, bro, I ain't. All right. I want get a couple relationship cards for you because we talked about your comedy and your career, your special, but I want to get your thoughts on a couple relationship things if you wouldn't mind asking.
Let's get it.
Answering. Now, you're free to answer how you want. But we're gonna go with a couple is. You have any kids?
No.
All right. A couple is staying. Good man. A couple is staying in a relationship because of the kids. Is this noble or foolish?
It's admirable. But it couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't be you.
Yeah, and I don't have nothing negative to say about that though. I mean, sometimes people just want their family. You know what I'm saying?
All right, understand that. Now, forgot to say these are tonight's conversation cards. Go check them out. I'm not sponsoring them, but they got some good questions.
Ain't nothing wrong with trying to build that relationship, bro.
Right, sponsor me. Your boo has been on social media all day, but has yet to respond to any of your texts. Is this an issue? Explain.
Definitely an issue, because clearly your phone is in your hand.
Okay.
So why are we not talking? You know what I'm saying? That's not a heated argument,
right?
But that's definitely some shit that you address.
Okay.
Like, I'm not fucking with that.
How would you address it?
I mean, I'd just be like,
answer your phone, bitch.
Facts. Nigga said, what the fuck you doing? Nigga said, so you been on Twitter all day.
All right.
Nah, man. I mean, the first time, I'm going to try to do it as cool as I can.
Right.
Like, I don't really fuck with that. You need to hit me back, you know what I'm saying? Make sure so I can know you straight, so I can know what you doing. You around the right people and shit. And you on social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is nothing wrong with the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person like social media should cause problems in your relationship. But most of that shit is just like a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's all I see.
Okay. You're getting married and you present your significant other with a prenup. They refuse to sign it. What happens next?
Shit, I don't know. I think about that type of shit all the time, dog. I think about that type of shit all the time, dog. I feel like that's the smart thing is to get the prenup, maybe maybe push the wedding back and have a further discussion about it. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. That's a lot. Because it's like I feel like women take a prenup as you already like feeling like this shit not gonna work out type shit. So why do it type shit? You know what I'm saying?
But from for protection.
From the man's perspective, it's like it's not even that. But it's just like in the event that something goes wrong with this shit, I don't want you trying to fuck over me. Because at the end of the day, like now let's be real.
It happens.
Like if you work, no disrespect, but like if you work at like McDonald's and no shit like that, you don't really need to worry about getting no prenup. You ain't really got shit to worth taking for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Nigga say, what the fuck you take, bitch? I want your PlayStation 5. Like, no, man.
Can't
like,
get that lit. But if you going into marriage, before I would say if you're established before y'all get together,
right?
And say you worth $50 million, y'all meet and you already worth $50 million. She could have money as well. She could be worth what? $10 million.
Right.
I don't think a prenup should be off the table. I would say that.
That definitely should be on the table because her having money has nothing to do with the situation.
Right.
She could have her own money when y'all divorce. She's not doing it because she needs the money. She's doing it to spite you. She's doing it to inconvenience.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if you rich, like if I came in this shit with 50, I need to be leaving with 50. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm not leaving with 50, it needs to be because I spent the shit on what the fuck I wanted to spend it on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about marriage? Do you are you looking to get married in the future? Or is that something that interests you?
I think the concept of marriage is fire. Like I think the idea of having a partner that you could spend the rest of your life with and grow with, I think all of that shit is dope. But I think I ain't gonna say it's kind of difficult
to do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like everybody's still trying to do their thing, which is cool. We all young at the end of the day.
Right.
So right now, I mean, it's definitely something that I like, I enjoy, but for my life right now, where I'm at with it right now, I mean, no. You know what I'm saying? But that maybe when I'm like 40s.
Okay. Usually men do get married older.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna get a couple more before we let you have your great Sunday, my man.
For sure.
You like the provocative picture of an old platonic friend on social media. Upset your significant other says, if you love me, you'll unfollow him or her. What do you do? Back to the social media thing.
Right. That bitch very social media heavy. Okay, so in that case, I don't know what I do. I give it some thought because at the end of the day, you set yourself up.
Right, like, you like the provocative photo.
Right, like that was an avoidable ass problem.
Right.
So in that case, maybe I might do it. I'll probably just do it. Now, if it was just on some shit like this is my platonic friend and you want me to unfollow her just because you insecure about our relationship, then fuck no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But in a situation like that, maybe because I made that bed. So.
What's your take on liking other women's photos in a relationship? Does the type of photo matter?
I mean, it matters if you don't want to hear your old lady mouth.
Right.
Like, if you don't give a fuck, it don't. But, yeah, definitely. I mean, women notice that type of shit. Like, if you don't think your old lady going through your likes, you stupid. Like, they see everything that you like. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's just about being respectful at the end of the day. Right. Like, it's okay. I feel like it's okay to double tap a picture like it's just a double picture, but you can't be in that bitch thirsty.
Like, you can't be with hard eyes.
Yeah.
You can't be on liking every photo.
Same woman. Like every time I click this bitch photo, I see you liking her shit. Like,
like nigga.
Like
hide or something.
Right. Be discreet. Fuck.
All right, we're gonna pick a last one. Where we gonna go at with it? Let's see. Let's switch it up.
This is gonna be another fucking social media question.
I'm gonna duck that way. Let's see. All right. A man has 2 children. Right. He teaches the boy to use a condom if he has sex, and he teaches the girl not to have sex. Is he wrong? Explain.
Yeah, he definitely wrong. Can't. Would you rather have a smart daughter moving in these streets?
Okay.
Because you put her on game and let her know what it is and what it ain't? Or you trying to hide shit from her. All you tell her is don't have sex, don't do this, don't do that. So she don't know nothing about sex. Now she just out there green. Now it's a nigga that's gonna manipulate the fuck out of her and get him to do whatever he wanted to do because you didn't prepare her for this shit.
Yep.
So I think you can't. They gonna live life regardless.
Right.
So I think as a parent, your ultimate job is to prepare them for what they gonna see. Cause most of the shit, like imagine you have conversations with your father, you have conversations with your mother, and they tell you some shit that's gonna happen before it happens. And what you do? Man, fuck that. She don't know what she talking about. Right. You go with your move anyway. And then the exact shit
that they said
what's gonna happen happens. And then you be like, damn, how the fuck you know? They like, motherfucker, I'm 60. Like, you know what I'm saying?
History repeats itself.
I seen all of this shit. So as a parent, even if your child doesn't listen to what you say, still throw that information out there. Cause shit, after my daddy telling me not to do this and not to do that for a while, and I go out there and do my own thing and see he was right. After a while, I'm gonna be like, all right, this nigga know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So you still gotta prepare your kids. I would rather tell you what you gonna experience. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
What would you get rid of? Music or comedy? If you only had one.
Damn. Fuck, I'm gonna get rid of me. Fuck. I don't know. Believe it or not, I'd probably get rid of comedy. I ain't gonna and that hurts my heart to say. But
no more jokes, nigga.
music different though. You know what I'm saying? Like people go through shit in life and get through shit with music. Like I feel like it's different. If we get rid of music, they mean you gotta get rid of Michael Jackson, you gotta get rid of Wayne, you gotta get rid of Drake.
All right, so who's the Michael Jackson in comedy?
Damn. Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Eddie.
Eddie versus Mike. Who's the Drake in comedy? Prince.
Nigga said Prince. Damn. I ain't never think about this. Let me think of something. So I'm gonna say this. I feel like Eddie Michael Jackson. I feel like Kevin Hart is Jay-Z.
Okay.
Chappelle probably Wayne.
Okay.
I'll probably go with Chappelle for Wayne. Who else you said? You said
they got Drake.
Damn. That one tough. I'ma say
I feel like that gotta be an all around one.
I'ma say Jamie Foxx because he do different shit. He a crossover person.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, this was the TaeVi's podcast. Once again, if y'all on Apple Music, Spotify, give us 5-star rating. This was a great episode, man. We got the comedian Sleepy. Special is September 10th, right?
September 10th at Comedy House Nola, Fulton Street, across the street from the bowling alley, 7 and 9.
For sure. Stay in your lane. This is his first one. Once again, September 10th. He don't know when you gonna drop it, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep y'all posted on that as well. Follow me on Instagram at Comedian Sleepy, Twitter Comedian Sleepy, and I'm gonna keep everybody updated on that.
For sure. Last question. Rank these: cash, credit, clout. 1 through 3.
1 cash, 2 credit, 3 clout.
All right, you like that physical paper. All right.
Yeah.
Once again, man, Sleepy TaeVi's podcast, and we out.